all of my buddies that live in Maryland about that too. That was funny. And they're like, it, it's his health and blah blah blah. It's like, dude, they released all that stuff before. I was like, they just got cold feet and they didn't want to pay the picks. I was like, just say that. I was like, it's better than
Right.
lying through your teeth.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Mhm.
welcome to an early podcast, everybody. Sorry for coming in early, but I got a project to deal with tonight, and I don't know what time I'll get done, so we're going early.
Yep. And ironically, we're both in the same store, just two different locations of the store. So we
Two
don't
different
get
back
that
rooms, so no
separation.
echo. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I didn't want any echo, so it's like you go in this back room, I'll be in this back room, it'll be fine.
Yeah,
So for
it's
those of
fine.
you who ever never got to see the one of the back rooms, ta-da!
You're right by
Yeah,
the microwave. That's exactly where you're at.
right through that wall is a toilet. So,
There we go.
yeah, so hopefully nobody has to go in the middle of this. They'll be like, shh, while you're on pee, it'll be fine. Um, but anyway, so for those of you who don't understand why I called this episode Not Like the Road, US 322, our episode number is 322. US 322, the road, travels through most of Pennsylvania. And actually, like we have driven that road multiple times. In fact, we were just on it 2 weeks ago. We went to State College because it goes right through State College.
Yep.
It starts south of Erie by Meadville, PA, and goes, I believe, all the way into Philly.
Yeah.
It does at least goes to Harrisburg. I think you can take it all the way down to Philly or around Philly. Um, so
I
it's
think it
it's
changes, the number changes, but it's still the same road.
yeah, it's like 322 slash something else at some point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at one point like 66 and 322 were the same as well.
Mhm.
Up by like Clarion area. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Um, anyway, uh, hopefully everyone is now dry from all the ridiculous rain we got in Pittsburgh yesterday.
Yeah.
I was out over at Ohio store and holy crap, did we get pounded on. Um,
I was gonna say I'm glad there was no tornadoes touchdown because they were
yeah.
calling for tornadoes in Allegheny County and Washington County. I was
Hmm.
almost expecting in the county that I live in, Westmoreland, but no, Westmoreland
Yeah.
got totally passed by that. It was just thunderstorms on and off all day.
Yeah, that's what it was in Ohio and even Cranberry when I went up to drop the van off. Um, and I luckily timed unloading the van in that sweet spot where there was no rain. So it worked out. But when I pulled in, it was like pouring and I'm like, son of a bitch. So I like went in the store for a little bit and then I waited and then I went out and looked up to the skylight. I'm like, I see blue. All right, here we go. Um, so it was a lot of fun. Um, So other than that, if anyone needs a job, we are hiring part-time in Cranberry. Um, so if anyone needs a part-time job, you can email your either resume or letter of interest to cranberry@ndcomics.com. We're looking for 1 to 2 part-time people. Weekends are a must. You have to be 18. Um, you have to be able to lift 65 pounds, which is approximately a long box of comics. Um, you don't have to lift a long box like all the time, nor do you have to lift more than one every once in a while, but there will be days where you'll have to lift like 40, but it's few and far between. Um, everybody they see that part and they're like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "That's because that's how much this weighs." Like,
Yep.
like if you can't move a long box, I can't really help you, right? Like you're no real use.
And it's, to be fair, it's not that bad, guys, because I used to work for UPS and there was a minimum you had to lift 70 pounds.
Yeah,
And that
yeah,
was hard labor, unloading, loading, sorting. You had to chuck 70 pounds.
yeah.
So
I mean,
this is
I
by
can
far
chuck
the
a
hardest
long
loading.
box. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
I can chuck a long box.
Yeah,
But
but then it breaks open and that becomes a mess, and we don't want that.
right. So if you're in the Cranberry Township area and you're looking for a part-time job, hit us up. We'll see what we can do. There is a employee discount that works at all 6 stores that comes along with it. But other than that, there's really no other benefits except that it's a fun, easy job. It's retail. Like you got to deal with some customers. You got to deal with like menial tasks like setting the
You have
new
to deal with us.
wall or
Yeah.
filing or whatever. But the managers do mostly ordering, so you don't have to really be responsible for that. So, but it's not hard. It's a lot of fun. Cranberry is our second oldest store, so it's kind of cool to have that option there. So yeah, if anyone's interested, just let us know. Super easy. Other than that, we are hiring for our convention this year as well. We do a paid staff, so if you're interested in that, you can hop over to threeriverscomiccon.com and find the Work for Three Rivers link. Click that, fill out the app, and we'll be in touch with you in the next week or so. We've already done a couple interviews. A lot of our guys from the years past just come back anyway, so it's not as big of a problem. Um, but it's gonna be a good time. And hopefully you guys are seeing all the announcements I put up. Like I have announcements scheduled through this coming Monday of people um, coming up. I'm real excited that Emily Swan and Ethan Young are coming. I think they're coming to Pie this weekend too, which I'm gonna head down there on Sunday and check out. I'm not setting up, but I'll be there to hang out. So if anyone wants to say hi when you see me, just say hi. It's all good. Um,
I was going to say, I will be at the Pittsburgh TCG collectible card show on Saturday. Not set up, but I figure I'm going to check it out because that is part of our business too. Um,
yeah,
and
that's at South Hills Village, right?
I think so. I have to double
Okay,
check to make sure.
that's what
Yeah,
I
but
thought.
I know it's a smaller venue. I know the big venue is the end of this month, which is in Monroeville. But yeah, I won't be in town for that one, so I figure I'll do this one just to see
All
what's
good.
up.
All good.
Yeah.
All right.
Should
Well,
we got two minor celebrity deaths? Well, it depends on your definition. Um, we
I
had
I think it's either a celebrity death or it's a someone you don't know death. So it's not there's no in between. You can't say a minor celebrity death. It would be like you
it's
could say like a B-list celebrity, but like you can't say a like when you say it the way you said it, it sounds like eh like this person you may not even know who this person is.
well,
So
again, it's the one is an actress
or it's
that
as in it was a minor death. It wasn't a real death. It was a minor death. It's like how it
no,
sounds.
no, no. Their death is, of course, tragic because both of them died of cancer. So cancer
Yeah.
sucks. F cancer. Yeah.
Yep. For
But we
sure.
lost Tommy DeCarlo that played for the band Boston.
Yep.
He had brain cancer and he passed away at
And
age 60.
he was the guy that replaced the original singer who also died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other celebrity is Jennifer uh, Ranon. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. For those who don't recognize the name, you may recognize her as the blonde college girl from the original Ghostbusters that Peter Venkman was hitting on. In
Yeah.
that, yeah, she was in other roles besides that one, but that was probably her most prominent role.
Mhm.
Um, she disappeared probably shortly after that. It said she just kind of became a family woman, and she, but she will always
Nice.
be remembered as the hot blonde from Ghostbusters, probably. She died of cancer. She was 65. So,
Oh, bummer. Bummer. Okay.
yep.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess we should just talk comics.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
Weirdly, so this is the first time ever that when I went to have these like come up to do them, I didn't have to shuffle the Miyu. It did it on its own.
Nice.
Ever. I've never had that do happen. Ever.
All right. And we got the DC AEW number 2. Now that this is it. Like it's 2 issues and it's done. Um, we left with Lex Luthor teaming up with uh, Mercedes and taking down Aquaman, and I forget who his partner was before that, but they got pieces of this mystical belt, um, and the rest of the Justice League are still fighting through here. Was it Nightwing and who is the trying to see where the nice Will Ospreay is his partner in this one. They were taking on the Hand, which was fun. Um, we're seeing the completed battle of the mutants against uh, John Moxley and what's his name? Guy Gardner. Atlantic City. Like it's just the team ups of the superheroes and the wrestlers here. It's Harley and what is it? Oh, Orange Cassidy taking on the Royal Flush King in Atlantic City. Uh, Limbo Town, you see Hangman Page and Hawk Girl defeating their foes. Dinosaur Island is John Stewart taking on I don't know half these bad guys in here. But it's basically them all wrapping up their battling throughout the whole book. The fun part, the my favorite part of it is Batman and uh, taking on the Joker with Darby. And just when you think the Joker's going to shoot Darby in the chest, you see a black baseball bat hit him from behind, and Sting beats up the Joker, which is
Nice.
hilarious.
I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah, and they make Sting look badass in this too. They made him kind of look. He kind of looks closer to Lobo than actual Sting face paint. Like, but it's fine. It's fine. Um, but finally, they get to the end here, and it's the entire Justice League with the fellow wrestlers taking on Lex Luthor and Mercedes here, and they're all trying to get this belt because now all the pieces of the belt are together. So they're all battling for this ultimate belt. And basically, the belt is thrown through a boom tube and lost forever, basically. But you do see like an actual tag team with Lex taking on, I want to say this is, oh, Kenny Omega with Wonder Woman as his female partner. So, yeah, it's goofy as hell, what you would think. And of course, the belt is taken care of. The good guys win. Lex Luthor is basically just kind of arrested, and Mercedes is like, "It wasn't my idea. It was all him." it's it's goofy as hell. I'd rather any other way. It's I don't know what to put as far as a song to it. Uh, let's just do "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor" from Drowning Bull. I feel like that's kind of where this is
Okay.
going. But it's fun.
Okay.
If you're into wrestling, this was a fun little two issue, you know, book. I know there's a lot of wrestling fans or comic book fans too. Definitely add this. It's two issues. It's a quickie. It was fun.
Nice. Um, there we go. All right, my first book is Ordained #2 by Rob Venditti. Bad idea. This book picks up where the last one left off, where the two
I was
guys
gonna
that
say
attacked
this has
the
been. Is this the priest? It's like military training and stuff.
yeah
From
yeah yeah
yeah,
yeah
I was gonna say this has been a long time coming. Holy cow!
yeah. So
Was it
so
6 months?
well, usually they get announced 6 months early. So yeah. Um, it starts out with the guys that he beat up in the church going into the hospital. Um, then it cuts to the priest, and he's just kind of like, great. Um, like he just, he's fixing his arm, and he's just like, God damn it, why do I have to do this? Um, then something's going on in Peru where like a team is going in to get some people, but they don't really explain what that's about. Um, so the priest, leaves. You see that he's former it looks like he's a Marine because he has like a tattoo on his arm. And then the cuts to the mob boss and his nephew, where he's basically like, we need to we need to kill like you need to kill this priest, like get everybody you can on it. So the priest then is leaving and is talking to some other cops, calls his connection who's a cop who he thinks is good. The guy gives him a ride over or gives him a ride to somewhere. But instead of going where he's supposed to be, he pulls into this alleyway where there's a bunch of thugs waiting for him. And he said, he's like, uh, what the hell does he say? They were coming for you either way, whether I helped or not. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, whatever you're doing, God still loves you more than you can comprehend. You're forgiven. And so instead of like just getting out of the car, he floors it into all the guys and like runs a bunch of them over. And then one dude who he missed shoots the driver and puts his gun to the back of the priest. The priest then is like talking to the guy, and he ends up like snapping his arm. Um, and he then takes out like three or four guys shooting at him from around the car, which is awesome. Um, and he gets to the point where there's one guy left, and the guy's like, and he thinks he's gonna get killed, and the priest is like, I promised myself, I promised God, I won't break that vow for you. And so he's like screaming, "Fuck you!" at this priest. The priest grabs a tire iron and beats the fuck out of him. Um, and then he's like, "Who do you work for? Like, who's coming after me?" Blah, blah, blah. So he tells them all, and then a cop goes and investigates with that guy in the hospital as he gets there. Um, and all he says is priest, and the cop from the first issue starts puts a call out to look for him. Um, and the one of the bad guys, or the guy that he just beat the crap out of with the tire iron, um, gets a call on his phone, so he answers the phone, and the boss is like, "Job better be done." And he's like, "Well," it's like, "It isn't too late for you, Cormac." Still, he's like, "You." Um, and so he like the mob guy gets pissed off. He's like, "Get the machine. Call the machine. We're bringing him in. Triple his rate." And his nephew's like, "Really? Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I want to teach this man about regret." So the next issue is called The Machine. Um, this book is awesome in my opinion because it has like a Captain America or Daredevil like Rick Remender vibe to it that I love. Um, the arts, the art works with the writing very well. And I really think it's a hell of a good book. So so I definitely recommend this. Uh, it is going to a second printing on the second issue already. The first book's I think on third printings now, um, which is crazy. Uh, and um, I think for a song, I'm going to go with Iron Maiden's "Sign of the Cross." So
Nice. Nice. All right, we got Tales of the Shadow Man, number three, three of three. This is the last of the uh, short limited series. Uh, the the whole premise of this is basically the detective trying to find out about Shadow Man, trying to figure out who he is. Well, the detective figured out, and she's pretty much saying, "You are uh, Boniface," and he just kind of leaves. Uh, Later in the evening, I guess, the detective is talking to um, who are you talking to here? Oh, he's talking to the wife of, well, the love of Doctor that died earlier in the first episode.
issue.
Uh, yeah, Mirage, Doctor Mirage. That's it. There you go. Well, she contacts who she thinks is Shadow Man. It just happens to be his actual shadow, which takes her to um, the Shadow Man directly, and she's looking for her husband. And he's like, "Well, I'm trying to find him, but there's something blocking." So he sends a couple of his shadows out, and he's like, "I'm also going to come with you." He's like, "Follow me," and he takes her into the Umbra. Um, and from that point, you're seeing all the uh, guardians of the entrance to the Umbra, and we meet Baron Samedi. Samedi. My pronunciation's awful with some of these names, probably because my French is awful. Uh, but she's talking to him, looking for her husband, and saying it's going to cost you, this, that, and the other. And she's like, "What? My soul, youth, loyalty, what?" And he's like, "No, I just want cash, hard cold cash." So apparently, you know, um, she pays like everything, Well, of course, this guy is a Joker, and he's like, "Well, here you go." And there's three different versions of the Doctor, and he's like, "You have to choose one." She's like, "Of course, you could pay more, but it's going to cost you, you know." And she's like, "Well, she's taught." Well, she asks him a question. They all respond in different ways. And the one that sounds kind of like Reed Richards, very scientific and nerdy. And she's like, I'll take the nerdy one. She's like, you know, and he's like, how did you know? And he's like, you're the only one that talks scientifically when you're even to your soul. Um, and the doctor's like, oh, by the way, who is this behind you? And she's like, well, that's Shadow Man. Help me find you. And he's like, that's not Shadow Man. And you turn around and it is the Mr. Twist. Tried to take on everything, trying to take them. Um, and they are trying to find the real Shadow Man for help. Oh, they find I guess his grave here, his grave marker, where Jack's body is buried. And they release him, and he's like, "Oh, the darkness had me," and they're like, "Can you get us out of here?" And Darkman's like, "Yeah, yeah, I can. Hold on." So he gets them out, um, but it doesn't come with a caveat in the fact that Dr. Mirage is a ghost because he's technically dead. So she's going to have to deal with that. So apparently it's right. There's going to be a book called The Second Life of Dr. Mirage. So that should be interesting. Um, and then they get I guess they're going to do also, we get a preview for uh, Punk Mambo book, the new Punk Mambo that's coming out.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, but that's the end of this uh, series. So wait for part two, I guess. Uh, I'm gonna be semi lame here and say "Enter the Sandman" by Metallica. Here, I feel like it fits. Um, Again, it's Shadow Man, and I do enjoy this. Whoop, sorry guys, I don't have a proper stand for my phone, so it fell. Uh, but it was it's a fun book. It's Shadow Man. I'm gonna love most of the everything, but this was last week too, so it didn't come out this week. It came out last week.
Fair enough. All right, my next book is Venom 255. Um, this is by Al Ewing. This book, I so it starts out with Eddie Brock's dad on the phone, um, and he's like talking to somebody, and um, he answers the door, and then it cuts into the story, right? Where Eddie and Carnage are reading a piece of paper or a newspaper that says Carnage ruled, as in past tense, and someone's setting up Carnage. So this whole scene read very much like a Venom movie, which is why I was like really not. I was like, oh, good Lord, this is bad. Like, um, so they're talking about having to try to find who this person set them up is. So then Venom and Spider-Man go into the bar with no name, and this is right at because someone killed Shocker, right? Um, and they go in there, and Boomerang is he's pretty much like what the hell are you doing in here? You can't be in here, not today. And he kind of gets into this, like he's like Boomerang's basically like stop quipping, like we're all in here, being sad, and he's like, I actually liked him though, like I just was hoping he would turn it around. So at that point he's like, fine, you're lucky we're friends. Um, in which case Carnage is like, you're friends with him? Um, and then you know so Tombstone comes out of the back, um, and sits him down to talk to him, and he shows him the newspaper, and um, he's he's basically asking, how do I kill Carnage? So Spider-Man's like, I don't really like the K word, and then Venom just starts rattling off all the ways to kill a symbiote. He's like, fire, starving the host, but Sonic's the best way to do it. And then they realize that whoever killed Shocker took his Sonic gauntlets. Um, so you know, Eddie Brock is out at like a library, and he gets on the internet and he searches like unsolved murders, and he finds that a bus filled with a whole bunch of his family has been killed. Um, so he's like, what the hell? Uh, he's like, I got to go check on my dad because he wasn't listed. So he turns into Carnage, and they fly out the window. Spider-Man and Venom are trying to track the gauntlets, and they're like, "Oh, he's right up front, right ahead of us." And then they see Carnage, and then Spider-Man realizes that the Shocker gloves aren't on him; they're like a half a mile away. So Venom starts attacking Carnage, and then you find out what the gold is on Carnage. It's anti-Carnage, from a time-traveling anti-symbiote. Um, yeah, out of the past to kick your ass is what he says. Um, yeah. Um, so you know, he's like, they said something about like hearing Eddie Brock was in town, so they figured to get a drop on him because they think that Carnage is going to go kill Eddie, and then he's like, no, actually, I am Eddie Brock, you dumbass. And then they're like, what? So Carnage like throws Spider-Man, and Venom's like, oh, Spidey, blah blah blah, because Venom's still Mary Jane. Um, Carnage then gets to his dad's house, busts in the house, um, and he's like, Dad, Carl, are you here? And he's like, it's like, Eddie? It's like, oh, thank God. Um, so he gets in there, and you find out that his dad actually is the new symbiote Torment, um, and that's actually who the new symbiote is that's killing everybody. So it was a cool reveal at the end, but the book itself really, really read like a fucking Venom movie, like the Tom Hardy style Venom movies, and I did not like. I don't like that style, the way they wrote that movie, like the dialogue in that. So I'm gonna give this. Uh, oh man, I'm gonna give this. Uh, all right, I'm going with the Who's Who Are You, because that's what they needed to get there. So while it's kind of a classic, but it's also kind of good, but it's not like heavy heavy. So that's why I went with that, and I think it fits the tone plus like what happened. So
Nice. All right. It's the I chose this just because it's another reboot of X-Men. Because they just did it last year. Let's do it this year. Um, but we got X-Men United #1. It's pretty much everybody that we are familiar with are teaching. A lot of the New Mutants you get to meet more, or you get a little bit more about them from this past year as far as new X-Men, new mutants. But the book starts out with basically Emma Frost telepathically linking everybody to, she calls it the Gray Matter Lane, which is basically just a telepathic mansion. And it has pretty much everything like Xavier School had, you know, gymnasium, cafeteria, class, and they're just meeting together through their own minds, um, making sure that they want to help these newer mutants for the future, like every X-Men story, pretty much. Uh, except, you know, the one who's causing problems here and who's not agreeing with anything that's being asked is Scott. Because, you know, why be agreeable to anything when Scott has to be a douche through the whole book? Which he pretty much is. Him pretty much questioning everything, um, including, I guess, the way this telepathic structure was created. It was through using stuff that Sinister started. So right there, Scott is not very happy about that because you're using something that Sinister came up with. But he is reassured that is like where we double checked and triple checked that there's nothing that can go wrong with what they're currently doing. But he's still upset. He's still like, this is going to be a bad idea. Kitty tries to calm him down and tell him, hey, this is our responsibility to teach the future. And he still doesn't like it and leaves. Meanwhile, everybody else is kind of going along with this. Uh, we get a Danger Room training with Wolverine and Laura, because of course, who else would you teach how to fight but those two? Um, there is an incident with um, Wolf Cub, one of the newer mutants, kind of going berserk, and him actually hurting a fair amount of other students. Um, they're trying to figure out what happened, like what's going on with that. Um, some of the other students are helping recruit other new mutants. We get one here where she looks like she's a mutant on the physical end, where she has kind of purplish horns and a tail. And they're inviting her to join. Um, you're seeing some of the other mutants kind of doing a little bit of soul searching, and not a lot of like traditional X-Men are in here, like except Kitty. Kitty seems to be like in all of this. Uh, where Lockheed's meeting some of the newer students. Um, the end of the book, though, Scott pretty much is just still thinking on how to teach mutants, but still like he's against what MF is trying to do. And he's talking to Glob and says, well, I'm going to handle things my way. And if they can't handle it, you know, tough. And he's like, I'm going to handle things my way. And Glob's like, Scott, what do you mean handling things your way? And the last uh, photo you see is him burning down. Is this the Alaska? I think this is the Alaskan X-Men headquarters. He's burning down the headquarters. So that's a great start for, you know, Scott causing shit. So since we're doing this, I'm gonna put Scotty doesn't know, but just because it's ripping on Scott. So,
right?
but
Um, I I just have to say how much I hate this cover. Like, I think I just think it looks bad. Um, I
well, it's a
also like
connecting cover. It's a
I
connecting
know, but
cover.
I also don't think that their faces look right. Like, um, like especially Rogue's legs. Like, look how look at the drastic like she looks like she should be like 4'8" in that by how short her
Mhm.
legs are, right? And then like her
Yeah.
butt's so far down that it's like, what is she like all torso? Like, what is going on here? Um, like it just looks weird, and I don't like the cover. Like the cover kind of turned me off. So
Yeah. There's several covers because it's an X-Men one. So, but I did notice that nobody really was reaching for this. So, let's
yeah,
hope it kind of works
I
better,
mean,
you know.
as a Emma Frost fan though, there were like 5 Emma Frost covers, and I was very excited about that. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, there's a few of them.
however, I
There's
didn't really like all of them though. Like I liked
yeah.
maybe one, I think, out of all of them. But anyway, my last book is Star Wars Shadows of Maul, #1, and so this is going to link into the TV show that's coming up on Disney Plus. This is by Benjamin Percy and Musa Bevic is the artist. Um, so it's mostly about Captain Lawson and um, Claire V. Rule has is kind of is interrogating Lawson, and it's like it keeps bouncing around in time. Like a week ago, a couple weeks ago, Lawson goes into a bar and tries to um, basically buy some illegal stuff, and the bartender's on to him, so he drugs his drink. Um, and then his droid comes in and basically kicks everybody's ass. His droid's name is Two Boots. Um,
Two boots.
yeah, Two Boots. Um, and he like the good part is the droid kind of reminds me of like that it's like a if C3PO had balls, right? Um, like C3PO actually like he speaks like
Nice.
3PO, but he actually is like but he's more like what was the one from not Rogue One? Yeah, Rogue One, right? The one that
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk voiced. Yeah.
Yes.
So imagine like a mix between those two characters.
Mm.
So they fight a big alien thing. Uh, then um,
Well,
you find out some of the
my
yeah.
question is this about now, is this before like episode one Maul, or is this after like him being
I
like
don't know
uh,
because um, so anyway, you find that some of the police are corrupt, and um, it gets to the end of the book, and you see that Darth Maul is basically like looking to go after Janix, and Janix is one of the bad guys from the that's in cahoots with the police guys. Um, because trying to get passage to Janix. Sorry, that's the planet that all that stuff's going down on.
okay.
When you see him, he has legs, so it's either way pre episode one, or they're mechanical legs after the spider legs are gone.
Yeah.
Um, kind of like what we saw him with at the end of
Clone
Solo.
Wars.
Yeah.
Is it Clone Wars?
Well, he had him in Solo too. Like he had like artificial legs
Yeah.
um,
Okay.
at the end there. So I don't know where this actually hits because it's like kind of dark in there, so you can't really tell yet. Um, but overall, like I was very bored with this book, and I don't know. Like I'll probably watch the TV show just because it's Star Wars, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be. Like if it's gonna be a lot like that, it's gonna be real slow. Um, but I'm going to also use Maiden for this one and use Fear of the Dark. So
There you go.
yeah, but I mean the art was really good, but it's just the story just took forever, forever and ever and ever.
I was gonna say it's what was it? I remember reading the Darth Maul black, red, and white version of all his stories, and that was all different eras of
Mhm.
Darth Maul doing the bidding of the of Palpatine. Uh, but this looks like he's before. Like it, he's does he have the double saber? Because if he
Yeah,
has the double saber, then he's technically that was during his Sith days.
yeah,
So.
he has it. Yeah, but he even had that. He had that in Clone Wars too. Like after he was Spider Maul.
Yeah, but he had to rebuild it. So
Yeah, but
that I think.
again, we don't know. We don't know where this sits yet. We probably won't find out until the show, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I have some hopes for the show. I just don't know that the book was anything that was to write home about. So also so changing subjects. The season finale of Starfleet Academy was today, and I watched that before I came to work. Um, and man, did that thing end on a high note. It was so fucking good. Um, for all you naysayers who didn't like the show because you thought it was, you know, this, that, and the other thing, it comes together at the end, and everything they go through the whole season like brings this together. Um, it is super great. I really really enjoyed it. So, and we find out how the Doctor is able to just go everywhere. He still has his emitter from Voyager. He just keeps it in his jacket, and it's like 1,000 years old at this point. Um, so at one point he's like put me in the computer, and he pulls it out and he sets it on the computer, and it like absorbs him, so he goes into it. And then when he comes out, his like speech patterns are kind of corrupt. So he's trying to like explain what they need to do, and it's like this really kind of interesting moment. But he just like puts it back in his thing. I'm just like, holy crap! It's that same emitter from way back in Voyager days. It's nuts. So,
Hmm.
but yeah. But anyway, but that's all we really got. So,
I was gonna say it's been a very quiet, like pop culture 2026 so far. It seems like
mhm,
it's we had some news, but we're not getting a lot. I think what
right.
no new anything about the Avenger stuff. No new anything like being announced or anything. It's just very quiet right now.
Yep. I'm assuming like uh within the next like 2 or 3 weeks we'll probably get some
Yeah,
cool new
probably
stuff coming.
C2E2. They'll probably announce shit
Yeah.
there, which I will be
And
there.
MegaCon usually is a good
Mhm.
one for that too. So, but all right. Well, thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll catch you next week. Um,
Yep.
and yeah,